Hello and welcome to Farthest Frontier. So, we're trying to build a more defendable area up here on top of a little hill. And, I mean, it's not going too bad. I mean, it's pretty much flat now. But I only want one entry point, basically. And I've got two strategies. Either we have a road that comes along here, and then up there. And then we've got these turrets, towers to take pot shots at them. The only trouble is it's the height gap. Not on this side. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I mean, it is very, very low over here, so it might still be possible. But I'm going to try and get this area leveled a bit if I can. To try and I don't think there's the way that this tool. It's not, don't have proper terraforming in this game. It's just a flattening tool, and it just averages the height out of things, which is it's a bit of a shame, I must admit. It's the one downside I find in the game, but I'm going to try that out and see what we can get out of it. My only concern, I think, in my theory is, well, if you end up against cavalry units, they don't seem to be all that phased by your towers. My cavalry units, just as soon as they run into a group of archers, they struggle. But if you end up with a bunch of like cavalry from the opposition, like whether they're raiders or private armies, they seem to be able to hold out pretty well, and it's not too long before your gate just gets trashed. Oh, speaking of which, we're extending things, aren't we? Yeah, so I want to extend these areas out. Reason being is I want to see if I can put barracks closer to the edges. I think it was in the last episode I ran into a kind of frustrating thing. Even though we got like a notification of raiders turning up, we couldn't seem to get there in time, so that was a bit frustrating. I'm just going to extend that out. I mean, I'm just actually thinking, I said that, is there any gain to doing that, because the barracks is here. Maybe I want to put, I'll probably put the barracks in the middle, I think. That mine's almost exhausted anyway, so I might put the barracks there. Because I was just thinking, actually, I mean, that barracks there is right next to an entry point, but they tend to favour smashing through here. They do still try to come through the main gate here. So yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I'll wait for that mine there to be exhausted, and then we'll probably move the barracks there so it can cover both points. Because it's kind of interesting. We seem to get attacked from either up here. Sometimes they'll come down there. Sometimes they'll come down there. We do find them coming along here sometimes, or come from this side, and then they'll come all the way down here and hit that gate. So probably I want the barracks to cover both. But here's been a problem. This has been very frustrating. So the strategy here is to get the barracks over here. So rather than running straight in and hitting a bunch of like houses, I'll hit a barracks instead. Speaking of which, that's a thought actually. Have I left enough room? So defenses, barracks. Yeah, so I could put the barracks. I'll spin it out there. Yeah, I'll get them to build that. I've just moved those out, and I'm thinking actually it might have been better if I'd built new towers. Well, I'll leave that for now, because these are newer ones. Part of the problem is I think I'm running short on things like metal ingots, so it might be difficult to put new towers up that are as defendable. How far I'm just checking coverage, so I was going to move that one there, but now that I think about it, yeah, moving one to there, one to there. I might get another one. Oh, except the barracks is in the way, isn't it? But I mean, a one that's here, it's got... it won't let me select it because it's getting moved. But that one's got quite a reach. It reaches all the way out to there. But it's just that this is a very common area that that gets hit. I'll have to check coverage over here now. So that goes all the way to there. That goes all the way to there. So that's... I've got everything covered there, so that should be okay. Right, back to here then. That at the moment is my emergency way in, although it's looking a bit iffy. One thing I was experimenting with, I want to try and figure out how to actually do things, shall we say, with this interesting little tool that we've got. So that's... yeah, I don't want to really break things. That's the thing. If I go, say, from there to there, so I put in an order for two cells, because just flattening things doesn't seem to be what I want. Except over here, maybe I do, because I want to kind of create like a cliff area, basically. If I can flatten out this area at the back and flatten it out at the front down here as well, in theory eventually I'll just end up with a big cliff area that makes that place totally inaccessible. Go in that direction. Yeah, I just keep pausing the game because I want to make sure that I see what gets done with that. That leveling job over there. I want to see what difference it makes. Assuming somebody can be bothered to turn up, that is. But that's another problem I've got, as well as pelt is very, very difficult to get. At the moment, I mean, I've got some barns where they're producing cows. And I've got some goats as well, but they don't produce that much pelt. It gets used up for, at least for the shoes and for the hides. And this thing is complaining. It's saying that they need like 803 hide coats. I mean, that's just not going to happen. We're not producing anywhere near enough hide. Well, I said that. Yeah, we've got some spare hide, just not enough. And that still puzzles me when it says that they need 107 linen clothes. Because, like, I've got 118 there. I mean, you've got tons of flax. So I added in another, like, weaver. So I don't know if that's just like a summary of these are all the clothes that you need. I mean, 136 shoes. Oi. I don't even know if you've got any. Oh yeah, we've got four shoes. So that's a big problem. That's something I need to solve. I mean, I also need to solve the metal ingots, quite frankly. That's another big problem. Let's see, we've got plenty of ore. We've got a bit of spare capacity, but not a lot. Is anybody going to actually do any work on this here thing here? I mean, it'd be nice if somebody did. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think this is the problem, is like, I've got people coming out in the winter. And they don't have a coat. So the linen clothing isn't good. That's what kind of like somebody dawned on me. I'm thinking, yeah, that's why I'm getting so many people are dying from like exposure. Yeah, somebody's just got frostbite. It'd be really nice if somebody came along and did this. Can I see if I can up the priority? Because to be fair, I've given them a lot of work to do. I don't know what the normal priority is, but actually I haven't said that. Yeah, there's not enough labourers. Oh, fudgesicles. Typhoid. Oh, is that a pipeman? What are you doing here? You're drunk. Oh, you're garrisoning. Presumably they're going up there. Seriously? How are you supposed to defend the place if you're drunk? Oh, you're getting up now, eh? That's not good. I'm not overly comfortable with somebody wandering around with a big pipe when they're drunk. It's just it just doesn't sit well. I mean, you just know something bad's gonna happen. They'll end up. Well, yeah, let's not even go there actually. Seriously, is anybody gonna do this or what? It's not a lot to ask. I mean, it's just a little itty bitty bit of work. Right, let's slow this down then, because I want to see what happens to this. So it's kind of flat at the top, and then we've got one cell which is sloped. So is that going to end up with like a 45-degree angle, or is it going to be nothing even like that? No, it's created a slope on the left, and then two cells. So that's interesting. So it's flattened the two cells and created a slope either side. Interesting. Aye, I'll get them to flatten that lot then. So that's not quite what I had in mind. Now, if I get them to... So that's a slope there. Oh, well, trouble is it's right next to there. And you don't have enough things, do you? See if I can find a slope somewhere. So there's a slope. So if I'm just getting them to flatten that. Let's prioritize that one. So if we've got kind of a 45-degree angle already. So is it just going to end up flat there? And then who knows? But at least that's interesting that. If you only do the two cells, you get a slope, then they're both flat-ish. And then a slope. So it's not quite what I was expecting. Because normally I think I've been doing 3. Because that's terrible. That's not what you want. I mean, how is that one cell? See, that's one single cell. It's like, well, what do I need to do there? I'm not going to touch this yet because it's the main road. But I'm just trying to wrap my head around what does what. What's that being left lying on the ground? It's like a bucket of some sort. Oh, hang on, have they already done it? Oh, no, they haven't. Yeah, I think that's just going to end up flat anyway. Because I want to basically have a play around with the roads and see what needs doing to actually flatten them out. Because that's all wonky. That's a wonky road. If ever there was a wonky road, that is a wonky road there. So if I take... Well, let's just focus on this, otherwise I'm going to lose the plot here. So that's a kind of a 45-degree angle. It's kind of flat either side. So it's kind of similar. It's so instead of ending up with two flat cells and a slope either side, we ended up with just the one cell and a slope. So that one there, which is extremely sloped there, I mean, that's going to... Oh, I'm going to have to get them to finish this up first. I'm going to have a bit of... Basically, have a bit of a play around with this. But ultimately the goal is I only want people coming up and down here. But that needs a lot more work, so let's see where we can get to from, say, here, because this is the highest point. It doesn't make any difference from for the game itself, the flattening tool, but I want to try and see if I can increase the height of this area over here. So I'm trying to flatten this whole area here, and I'm going to work my way to the right. I mean, I've got a lot of wiggle room over here because it's very low down here anyway. It's lower there, so in theory I should still be able to slope a road down there. And then we've got a series of tunnels, a series of turrets or towers to take pot shots at any invading armies. That's my theory anyway. So that's 625, I think, was the biggest I could ever get. Yeah, 625. So I'm still flattening this top section out, and it needs flattening out even more because of the far corner. That wasn't flat at all. Because I had a road there, so I'm going to have to basically by flattening this lot out as well now. It's impacting the rest of the area. So I'm having to go through this whole process of flattening things out again, which is a bit of a pain. It took me like over half a century just to get to that point. Well, actually more than that. I think it's getting up to like almost 3 centuries we've been doing this. Right, what's Lethros got? Have you got, please, have you got any pelts? I need pelts. No, you don't have any either. No. Maybe next time. Hopefully. Fingers and toes crossed, they'll have something useful. Right, that's getting flattened, that's getting flattened. So I'm just going to keep throwing in orders to just flatten the place. But I'm doing the back first, really, because I want them to have a way to get there. That needs to be accessible. And then eventually we'll get this whole, well, in theory I should then get everything right up to that wall at the same height. So you just have this big massive sheer wall that you'll have to go up against, which basically means it's inaccessible. That's my theory. But whether it'll hold out or not, I have no idea, because these cavalry units seem to be pretty strong. I'm banking on the towers at such height. I'll have quite the advantage over everything else. I mean, well, actually, I'll go a bit further out. Ideally, I'll have an advantage so that I can actually just take pot shots at them, and we'll take out most of them before they even reach the area. Whether that's realistic or not, I have no idea. Frankly, this isn't even flat by any stretch of the imagination. Flattening over there. I'm going to have to do that over here anyway at some point. Let's just keep flattening this lot out as well. Then eventually I'll take back. I mean, these people, I can see they're all going around this way to get up to there. I just don't want to touch that road until I'm kind of like ready. So they've flattened that out a bit better anyway. Looks like they're ignoring it. So, in theory, so if I flatten that, is that gonna improve things, or is it gonna wreck it? Because they're not going up there. As far as I can tell, they can't get anywhere up there anyway. They can't come up here. So can I make their lives a bit easier? So if I don't touch that one, if I go one back, just flatten that one. Well, the only drawback is I don't know if anybody can even reach it. Yeah, I don't even know if anybody will even be able to reach that actually. Tell you what though, a big problem. Oh, hold on, I think we've done that. I was going to say a big problem though is pelt, isn't it? Should really be focusing a bit more on that. So I'll just do that work order there. So it's just slightly, that one area there, that little row or column, if you will, is just slightly lower than the rest. So my theory is if we get them to do a bit of work on this area, it'll pull this part up a bit. This side will start to lower, but hopefully we'll end up where this whole area over here ends up higher up, and then I can start bringing the road around. There's deer over there. Right, where's your work area? So your work area is there. So let's bring it round to just... It doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you can see the deer. Yeah, there's the deer there. So they've got them. So they put out one trap. So by having... it says 2 traps. So small carcasses will get you 1 pelt. If I can find bears, or boars rather. So they're wolves. We don't have any wolves left because I killed them all. Oopsie. So I'm not seeing any traps though. It's kind of like a bad place to be there by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean they've put a... Actually, why have I got somebody all the way in here? So they put a trap in here, which doesn't make sense. So I think they were in there originally because the deer got in. That's a massive area to cover. I didn't realise the area was that big. Right, so we've got deer in here. But they've been removed. It's just the trouble is I don't seem to get that much from say like the cows, for example. I mean that's a forager. Which kind of is questionable. Well, I mean I do get quite a few different things there, so I might believe them. Now there's a thought. What if we put a hunter? If I can find them. That comes under food, doesn't it? Yeah, the hunter. It's a pity that. Because the boar, I mean the boar at the minute just says there's boar sight. It doesn't necessarily mean there are any. They'll show up every now and again. It's quite a ways out, that one where we've got deer. This is the trouble, I've expanded out so far that I've probably chased most of the deer away. I mean, there's some on the edge there. So they're down there. Sort of things you need to think about, really, I suppose, is like what you're going to impact. I mean, there's some wolves over here. The trouble is, the very thing I'm trying to get, as in, like, high courts is what they need to be better defended. It's a bit risky, like, going after wolves, but that's actually not too bad. There's one there. And there's one... There's not one over here somewhere. Ah, there's one there. So there's hardly any deer there. Oh dear. There's hardly any deer. And there's hardly any of them there. I was really expecting we'd get all of a hide from these, but no, don't seem to get many at all. Right, is anybody going to turn up and do this at all? Can anybody be bothered? Oh, crikey, we're seriously short on... Oh, no, that's probably because I've been adding extra things like garrisons and all sorts. Yeah, that's come back to bite me. I think I'm going to have to start introducing more... Tell you what, start adding in more houses then. So that road would normally be coming down here, wouldn't it? That along... here then. I mean, it's only temporary. I mean, there's some mine over here, but... Right, if I put that one, say, there, then one there. Let's spin that one around there, and one around there. We'll get ourselves some more people. So these mines are at... They're almost... 490, so that's almost exhausted. Oh, that's interesting, that. You pick that one there. Yeah, you can see one all the way over there. There is a slight drawback that maybe nobody can get there. That's a possibility. I might end up sitting scratching my head here for the next hour wondering where everybody is and why nobody's coming here. Yeah, I can't like direct anybody that... Well, I could actually direct that. Actually, it's a thought. Let's see if I send them over there. Oh, slow this down. Oh, I'll speed them up a bit because it was just that... was it Masuk, I think it is? Right, in which case... If I move the flag to there, nope. So might be possible. Right, okay, might be possible. Right, I really want to see what actually happens there, so I'm pausing the game. Right, where is my little grading post? Look at that, all of those weapons. Why are they not turning those into... I'm going to have to put a serious block on these. This is bonkers. Why have we got so many swords? That's nuts. I don't need that many. The trouble is, I don't think they'll then switch to making anything else. I mean, ideally, I want them to be making heavy weapons and heavy tools and these, but the trouble is the ratios. I've never seen the ratios actually work for me. I mean, it's been a while since I've tested them, but they just didn't work. Aha! Right, so what are you going to do with this road here? Oh, it's not exactly flat at a slope, a decent slope anyway, to be fair. That's not too bad. So what if we do that one then? Hang on, cancel that. I don't need 2 job orders for it. Prioritize that one. So that, somewhere there was a... I think they can still get up here. They're just going over down to here because it's like, I need to be over there anyway. I flatten... Oh, that's a long road. The road is long. So rather than touching that one, if I go with that one, prioritize that. Alright, you've done your job over there, have you? Good, good, good. Right, in which case, I go from 1. Yeah, I mean, the more cells I can get, the better. Because that one, that's just like one row, is at a slightly different height to the rest, more or less. So in theory, it should bring that corner down. But we shall see. Right, so that, I'll do the same. I'll start bringing this lot down. Now, I'm kind of hoping those labourers there can actually get down from there. Otherwise, this is going to be embarrassing. I think I can do that. Oh, yeah, hopefully I can do that without impacting the road. Although the road's going to go anyway at some point, to be fair. I'll just keep getting this area leveled. Oh, a bit of overlap there. Right, so is anybody going to do one of these two then? And just standing around thinking about things? No. So what are you doing? What's your... You're taking a walk. Okay, fair enough. That's going to be interesting actually, because I think we have to wait until version 1.0, the full release. I think that's when they're going to start introducing more realism, if you will, when it comes to the villages that you've got, where they'll actually start to go visit the market and so on. So rather than just like standing around, they'll actually just go and do something. Because at the moment we've just got people just standing. I mean, must admit, you've got to take a break every now and again anyway. But that would be interesting. That actually going, you can actually see more interaction of people actually going visiting the marketplace. It sounds quite fun. That. Oh, I haven't finished with that bit yet, have they? I just don't want to miss these little bits, these little bits here, just to see what actually happens. See if I can get my head around what this thing's doing. Ah, right. So at the moment, that's seriously wonky, that road. But how is it going to impact it? Slow it down a bit. Yeah, so it either way, it kind of puts a slope on either side. It flattens the cell you're on and puts a slope either side. So in which case, then get them to do that one. So there's definitely a knack to this. I just haven't found it. So if I just keep, maybe if I just keep going along like that. I mean, that's it's a trouble is, you see, you're ending up with that. I mean, that's not practical for a road. I mean, that's already flat, so I don't think it'll do anything. Yeah, I would have thought somebody could get to that one. That's funny, that. Yeah, it is the one downside, is there's just sometimes you just can't get to places. Right, let's get ourselves a little road going along. That would have come down. I suppose really it would have come down here, wouldn't it? Oh, that's not flattening. I wanted a road. Let's go there. I haven't said that, you see, because well, I haven't said that. There is a bit of a roadway there. It's just it doesn't quite line up with these. I might end up moving that and move these over. Well, yeah, it's kind of tricky because of all the different shapes of buildings. Trying to get a decent layout. Yeah, it's not too bad. Once I introduce a... Yeah, if I introduce a... Get them to flatten that one. Because I don't know if anybody can actually walk up there. So that... Because some of the things I've been doing is... taking like 2 on that side. Oh, oops, didn't want to do that. So if I take, well, go that corner, that side there. So I take 2. Well, that would be there. So 2 there, then the slope. Then you would take 2 down. Yeah, it's because the trouble is the slope's 3. Well, the slope actually it's 2, isn't it? So 2 there, then you take a slope of 2, then you take a flat of 2. See what that does. Let's take that corner area there out. This is the trouble I find is when you've got people just standing around. I don't know if they're actually stuck or if they've just got nothing to do. That's the one thing I'm always bothered about, is leaving people stranded. I've done that before and you don't realise it's like all of a sudden it's like somebody's died and it's like, yeah, because you didn't give them anywhere to go. You left them stuck on top of some hill. 393 will do. Do. If it was me, I'd be fed up with just flattening the ground all the time. It's like all we seem to be doing is flattening the ground. I mean, at least now we've got a top, if you will. I mean, that's like kind of pretty flat up there now, so it kind of makes sense now. If they've all been scratching their heads wondering what on earth I've been up to, it's like, yeah, that was what we were trying to do. Right, so this all needs flattening out. The one thing I don't know is if I'll be able to set up turrets on this side as well. Why am I going around that way? It's interesting they're going around that way to then come up there. Oh. Ah, presumably because it's... Oh, we can get them there. Aha, right. Is this going to wreck it all together or what? Because that part there looks too much of an angle. No, it's just smoothed it out a bit. Right, so if we go 2, 1 either side, well, I'll try and make it a bit smoother. That's my theory. So it's 2 either side of the slope. The trouble is, it's where we've got these 2 slopes, that's where it's kind of, my theory's falling apart. So, on the other hand, if we go 2 slopes, then a flat either side. So that's kind of smooth, that actually. Let's take that. And get them to flatten that little area out there. Because if I can get them to come up here, it's just a bit quicker for now. And then eventually I'll start trying to wrap my head around trying to smooth that out, because I originally had a road that was coming up here. Believe it or not, it used to come along here, then go all the way up here. But I've literally flattened that whole section out. So what I've done there is what I'm trying to do over here. And then eventually this lot will be gone, and there's just no way to get up here. If I can take this cliff face out as well, it's going to be very, very difficult to get up there. The only thing I was trying to do as well was to try and stop people from hitting the wall straight on. Just don't think I can do that though. I wanted to take away that ability to hit the wall. So it'd force you to just focus on the door. The less, I suppose it's 6 and 2 3s, the more areas where they're spread out, you won't have concentrated fire, if you will. So I suppose there's less likelihood of them being able to take an entire section down, I suppose, if I leave it. Because I was originally trying to get a groove all the way down there. That's what I was thinking, but it was messing up this road as I was going along. And I don't want it like, say, like 3 wide, because then they can get up quicker. It's kind of tricky, I must admit. It's a lot of thought. Obviously has to go into that. Right, 150, 200, 225, 250. Because it could be quite interesting if I could get a road that bends all the way around there, so then you've got towers up here. But if I can then get maybe like a trench, then another height and another area of height with some towers there, you'd then have to literally go through another set of towers. I'd have another set of towers on this side that are defended. The only way to get into them would be through the road. Could be another way to make people's lives difficult, including mine, quite frankly. But this is my back plan B. Is just basically we'll bring them all the way down here. But I don't know if I can heighten this whole area here. It might be possible to bring the path, or bring the path down here instead. Because this is at height. If you can't get up to here as well, I could force them down through here. So then I've got turrets along here, and turrets down there. Then you come up that way. That's another strategy I'm thinking of. It's a lot of hassle just to slow people down, I must admit. Right, let's try bringing the height of some of these down. As I say, at the moment I've got all those people at the top of there, and I don't know if they're stuck or not. Just keep chipping away, and eventually I should get to a point where it's just a sheer cliff face and you just can't go up there. So I'm assuming people can still get up to that section. I missed a bit, didn't I? So I'm just getting to do a little strip there. And I'll come around to this side here. So they're still working over here. Actually, they're almost finished. Chip away at them. And I haven't said that they're going along that road, won't they? Yeah, they're using that as a road at the minute. So again, I just want to select a backdoor, basically a plan B, until I've got that figured out. I could do that actually. Aha! Well, I said aha. I don't know if that's actually worked or not. Right, so that looks too steep. So if I do 2 either side, versus 1. I mean, far enough apart that I don't think they'll impact each other. Let's see how that goes. So at least they can now get up and down on that side, which is quite useful. Oh, that's interesting. Right, does that... Sounds like an optician, really. Like, is this going to be better or is it going to be worse? Is it better? Is it worse? It's kind of like flattened all 3, really. Huh. Interesting. It's left that bit looking wonky, mind, but... Because my theory was that because we've got more cells involved, and these ones are at that height, and these ones are at that height, it would create a much cleaner, smooth path, if you will. That was my theory. Whether that theory works is a different story. It's funny how as things go along, you can see all the movements of the ground as they're working on things. Now, is that going to end up horrendous, or is it going to be... No, it's just flattened it. Oh. Well, it's a smooth... yeah, I mean, it is a smoother slope. I'll give it that. So that's not too bad, actually. So we go... Except, it's a kind of a sheer drop. Now that's okay, because I'm not bothered about that point there. Except the camera's gone all wonky. So that's a kind of a... See, that's kind of a nice smooth path up. That's what I'm trying to achieve, but I just don't know if it's possible. Because everything gets averaged out. So out of curiosity, what happens if I do... Do that? What does that end up looking like? I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see, I mean, at least they're now able to get up and down that road. Now, I think they're going to go off. Is that... Yeah, that's too steep, you see, that's the problem. Yeah. That's a pity. Right, so 437 is the max then. Except in this case it's 450. Okay. Interesting. That's 500. 62. So just going to be a case of just chipping away here, and then eventually this will all be gone. Go to about there. And there. Yeah, so I could do with definitely do with a better, say, terraforming tool, but it's just time. Just takes so long to do it, that's all. So that bit there they don't like. It's too steep for them. Maybe it's just a case of leaving a reasonable flat gap. Because there, I mean, you can see it's like 2 or 3 cells. So they're quite happy to go at that angle. Or are they? Maybe that was too steep for them. Let's take that out. It's no point having that. So they haven't got round to that bit. So it's not ideal, but it's, as long as they'll walk on it, that's the main thing. That's what I want. I just want them to be able to walk on that. Because as long as they stick to the road, then they'll go quicker. I'm going to hedge my bets and say that person's intoxicated. Yep, it's usually the case. That's one downside. I mean, you can get them alcoholic beverages and it cheers them up. And then the trouble is they end up getting drunk and they end up doing nothing. It's like, seriously? I'm well aware that people need clothing. Right, let's try and flatten this lot out again. So this is just going to be another rinse and repeat, isn't it? 625 is about the best we can get. $562, 625. Oop, didn't want to do that. Let's bin that. Right, how are we doing over here? So we've moved our towers over to there. The clay is still a ways to go before they finish that. Oh, we've now got a garrison. Right, let's go and build another tower then. Build that one there. And that one there, because it'll be interesting to see how that compares. Oh, I can upgrade that. Don't particularly need to, because I haven't said that. Does that, I know it increases the capacity. I should have checked really, shouldn't I? Right, so if we put in... We'll just put in the heavy infantry. Train of thought is that this is just going to be up close and personal. There's no gain in having archers that up, that close. Hopefully that'll buy me a bit of time to then get these folks over, or to get the archers over. Housing. I think I've got the cap set at 1500 anyway. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm bothered about that. Let's start adding some more houses, because I think we're okay food-wise. Spin that round there, put that one there. I mean, the desirability sucks because they're next to a mine, which is understandable. I mean, they've got access to a healer, they've got access to a marketplace, and they've got access to a bakery. As much as I don't want to, I can see me having to put a public house here, aren't I? That's a thought. Yeah, I didn't have a school here for some reason. Probably because it doesn't fit. If we put a school in there... see, if I put a school in there, then I can't fit the public house. Where's the publican? There it is. Put a publican there. Kind of goes just slightly over, but it's not the end of the world. Now these were all... Actually, I could probably start removing these, because these are all put up here. Well, time to move them out of the way. And put them on the edges, because these were originally put up to deliberately deal with this issue of people having nowhere to go during the winter, because they were up here. There was, when I was doing all this and getting this all flat, there was a lot of people up here, and that was the big problem, was exposure. That's not looking so flat on that side. I'll have to flatten it from that side or outwards. It might be tempting to like just not do anything during the winter, because there's quite a few people. I mean, have they not got a coat? So who are they? Are they one of the miners? Yeah, I think they're one of the miners who are like way out here. And I'm a bit puzzled, because I mean I've got an emergency shelter for them here, but they don't seem to use it for some reason. And that coal mine's got like a lot of coal. It's going to be there for a long time. Yeah, so his health's taking a hit now. But at least he's doing better, because he's got a hide coat. I mean, I'm tempted. I mean, how much meat have we got? I mean, we've got a bit of white meat, and we're going into the winter now. I wonder if I can... It might be tempting to set up another barn, but I think that'll overlap with the work camp there. Let's have a look. Food. So that's a tier 3 cheesemaker. Reservist. So that's the goat. Yeah, there's the barn there. I mean, the work area is much bigger though. And that's a big area there. That's interesting. That I didn't realise that before, but you see, there's like a fodder bonus area a fodder bonus that you get. I didn't notice that before. It's like there, it's in the upper 80s. Here it's in the 90s. Because I've just been feeding them off there. Off here. Speaking of which, actually. Yeah, we've got like a bajillion here. Here's not a problem. This is the problem now, is it's just getting too big. It feels like the areas we're covering so much of an area now. It's like we're getting further and further away from places. Yeah, from the main town, for instance. I mean, I could set up a barn over here, for instance. And that might be tempting, because if I just do what I've done there and just run a series of barns along here, that's in the way. I could do that. Yeah, let's do that one. So that one's there. I don't know if I've got a road running down. I haven't put a road in for some reason. roads and let's see. So if we run that along there, too long. I think it's about the same size as those. It's like they're the horses and they're the cows. Trouble is I don't have enough people, do I? Maybe I should start putting housing out here for these people then. That's something I should think about, because these people have a long, long way to go. Yeah. Maybe that's something I should be thinking about then. It's kind of like a balancing act, because you're going to have these people living so far away from like defenses. They're not in the main town. I think that's one of the, like, was it the like little cinematic intro that you get? That's one of the main things they're complaining about, is like the rich have got you know, they're all living it up in the behind walls. That was one of the reasons all these people moved in the first place. Right, more flattening. Keep people occupied, that's what we're going to do. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do, is just run more barns to get more hide. Still a bit. Yeah, it's another one gone to exposure. Fudgesicles. So I'm going to have to seriously fix that. So there is one way, which is to, I think what'll help if I don't do that flattening during the winter times. That might probably help. Let's just speed this back up again. But that's coming along now. At least we're getting this area now flattened out. I need to think about flattening this side as well. Trying to bring that height as best I can along to here, so then we can wind the road around. But yeah, pelts are a big problem still. I mean, we are capped at 1,500 people. That's a setting I've got for the game, so I might push it up because we're running out of people anyway. I don't have. Oh, jeez Louise! Everybody's. Let's slow this down. Right down. I'm gonna sit that, because realistically, I need more people on. It's kind of a. That's another juggling act, because it's like you need builders to repair things. And you need builders to, well, build things. But at the moment, I've kind of pushed myself into a place where we just don't have enough labourers, so I'm going to have to try and fix that. So I might have to hold off on all of this. I'm trying to do too much terraforming at once, because that's what the builders do. So that's going to slow things down. But the good news is it's almost spring. That's a relief. There you go. We now got spring. So we're getting there. There's still, well, yeah, there's still a lot to do. And of course, that's all for another episode.